Hello guys, my name is Nurul Fitriany Batubara. If to dub some video of motivational speech. The topic of this speech is about mathematics. Math isn't hard. It's a language. By Randy Polisov. %26% on the nation report part that the percent below for 12th grader for the subtraction in math. In America, we had everything as an exceptional country. But the 26% sound exceptional to you. Raise your hand if you think at the country we need to do way better than that. I'm with you. We all need math. For why are so many kids confused by it? It is because only 26% of people are hardwired from that. Love 70% or not. After working with thousands of kids, I can tell you, this is the case at all. Kids don't understand math because we've been teaching it at the humanized subject. But if we make math human again, it will start make sense again. You're probably wondering, how is math in every human in the first place? So think about it. Math is human language just like English, Spanish, and Chinese, because it allows people to communicate with each other. Even in ancient times, people need the language of math to conduct trade, to build a monument, and to measure the land for farming. This idea for math language isn't exactly new. A Greek philosopher once said, "The laws of nature are written in the language of mathematics." So you see, even Galileo agreed, isn't it? But somewhere along the line, we're taking the language of math with about the real world around us. And we abstract that beyond this recognition. And that's why can't they get confused? Let me show you what it means. Well, see this third grade Californian math standard, and people make sense when 8 years old. Understand the fraction 1/b as the quantity formed by one part when a whole is partitioned into b equals part. Understand a fraction a/b as the quantity formed by a part of size 1/b. And if you give this description to an 8-year, you'll probably get a reaction like this. To a math expert, this standard makes sense. But to a kid, isn't an absolute truth. I tell this example specifically because the fractions are the foundational to algebra, trigonometry, and even calculus. So kids don't understand fraction in elementary middle school because it had half root way to hit them in the high school. But there's a way to make subtraction simple and easy for kids to understand. Yes, just remember that math is the language, as used that the fear damages. For example, when I teach first grader how to add the subtraction, I start with the apples plus apple plus lesson. For say yes, 1 apple plus 1 apple, and people often say 2 with the particle correct. Half them include the words as well as with the math of the language, but just not 2, isn't 2 apples. Next is 3 pencils to 3 pencils. You all know that pencil plus pencil is pencils. So everyone, how many pencils? 5 pencil is right. And the K is you include the word. I try to submit with my 5 years old niece in Moon. After she's added pencil and pencil, I asked her what 4 billion plus 1 billion, and my own overhead is this decision. She's called and sighed, "Are you crazy? She's been kindergarten. How is she supposed to know 4 billion plus 1 billion? I'm done it." My niece Vanessa Costing looks up and sighs. 5 billion? And I say, "That's right, it is 5 billion. My aunt stood a hit on that, because she didn't accept that from the 5 year. But all you have to do is take a language approach, and the maths become into it is and easy to understand." Then I asked her a question kindergarten definitely do not supposed to know. Plus 1/3, and she immediately answered 3/3. Such are you wording? How can we possibly know that when she doesn't know about numerator and denominator yet? You see, she was thinking about numerator and denominator. She solved the problem this way. And she was apples plus 1 apple as her analogy to understand. 1/3 plus 1/3. So even a kindergartner can add subtraction. You'd better believe that third grader can do it as well. Just for fun, I asked her an algebra question. What 7x squared plus 2x squared? And then the 5-year correctly answered 9x squared. And she did it any exponent rules to figure that it out. So when the people say that we are either weird or not, is it not true? Math is a human language, so we have all the ability to understand this. We need to take a language approach to math argument, because too many kids are understanding about math, and it don't have to be that way. I worked with an angry, frustrated high school student on who could pass the algebra, because she only knew 45% of the multiplication test. If told her that such a kind of crumbling alphabet holding me back, She could pass her a public reaction, and she had no confidence in that. As the result, this teenager had confidence in herself. If told her, we have to start with the because one thing all of you have with you part. Everything gets easier and they will be having a fast pack every happy ride is Disneyland. What do you think? And she said, okay. But she systematically learned the timetable in 4 weeks. And yes, even a multiplication has the language and better than that. You'll be surprised how many kids don't realize 7 times 3 can be spelled out as 7 times 3, which just means 3 7 times, just like that. So when kids see this way, they quickly realize that the repetition is slow and inconvenient, so they club the memorize that 3 7 times, all with the 21. The further teenager would stick to dropping out, becoming fluent and confident in multiplication with the great danger. Because for the first time, we can focus on the problem solving instead of counting on the finger. I'm new, she's in the corner. When she's finger ordered 2 years Carly, $4,045 a month would cost you $10,680. And she looking at me disapprovingly and said, it's a police shock. That's expensive. At the moment, not having wonder causing problem for her, but she looks giving a math solve problem as the result to adult. As an educator, it's my duty to challenge kids to be tired. Tirely you with this challenge. Our country is stuck at 26% subtraction, and I challenge you to pass the number higher. This is important because mathematical thinking not build young mind, but our kids needed to imagine and develop their future. Meeting this challenge can be simple as apple plus apple. Insist that we teach math the human language, and we will get this sooner rather than later. Thank you.